today is about the final exam. Choose 5 questions from the list of the questions and discuss it. Questions. 1. What do you mean by an operating system? What is its basic function? 2. Why is the operating system important? 3. What is GUI? 4. What is a deadlock in OS? What are the necessary conditions for a deadlock? 5. What is virtual memory? So, the first question is, what do you mean by an operating system? What is its basic function? Operating system. An operating system, OS, is an interface between a computer user and computer hardware. An operating system is a software which performs all the basic tasks like file management, memory management, process management, handling input and output, and controlling peripheral devices such as disk drives and printers. Basic functions: memory management, processor management, device management, and file management. An operating system is a program that acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware and controls the execution of all kinds of programs. Does the following activities for memory management. So the memory management keeps track of primary memory. What part of it are in use by whom, what part are not in use. And also in multi-programming, the OS decides which process will get memory when and how much. Allocates the memory when a process requests it to do so. And deallocates the memory when a process no longer needs it or has been terminated. Processor management. So these are the following activities for processor management. It keeps track of processor and status of process. The programming responsible for this task is known as a traffic controller and allocates the processor CPU to a process and deallocate processor when a process is no longer required. And in device management, keeps track of all device program responsible for this task is known as the I/O controller. And it decides which process gets the device when and for how much time, and it allocates the device in the efficient way and deallocates devices. And the file management, an operating system does the following activities for file management. So it keeps track of information allocation, uses, status, and etc. The collective facilities are often known as file system, and it decides who gets the resources and also allocates the resources and deallocates the resources. Basic function of operating system: memory management. Memory management refers to the management of primary memory or main memory. Main memory is a large array of words of bytes where each word or byte has its own address. Main memory provides a fast storage that can be accessed directly by the CPU. Processor management. In multi-programming environment, the OS decides which process gets the processor when and for how much time. This function is called process scheduling. Device management. An operating system manages device communication via their respective drivers. It does the following activities for device management. File management. A file system is normally organized into directions for easy navigation and usage. This directory may contain files and other directions. Question number 2. Why is the operating system important? An operating system is the most important software that runs on a computer. It manages the computer's memory and processes, as well as all of its software and hardware. It also allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. Without an operating system, a computer is useless. Third question. What is GUI? A GUI, graphical user interface, is a system of interactive visual components for computer software. A GUI displays objects that convey information and represent action that can be taken by the user. The object changes the color, size, or visibility when the user interacts with them. A GUI includes GUI objects like icons, cursors, and buttons. These graphical elements are sometimes enhanced with sounds or visual effects like transparency and drop shadows. Using these objects, a user can use the computer without having to know commands. Number Our fourth question, what is a deadlock in OS? What are the necessary conditions for a deadlock? Deadlock is a situation where two or more processes are waiting for each other. So, here's the example. So, if a process is in the waiting state and it's unable to change its state because the resources required by the process is held by some other waiting process, then the system is said to be in deadlock. So there is waiting processes here. So necessary condition, mutual exclusion. As a resource can be held by only one process at a time. Hold and wait. A process can hold a number of resources of a time, and at the same time it can request for other resources that are being held by some other processes. No preemption. A resource can be preempted from the process by another processes. Forcefully. Circular wait. Circular wait is a condition when the first process is waiting for the resource held by the second process. The second process is waiting for the resource held by the third process, and so on. At last, the last process is waiting for the resource held by the first process. So every process is waiting for each other to release the resource, and no one is releasing their own resource. Everyone is waiting here for getting the resource. Fifth question, what is virtual memory? A virtual memory is a storage scheme that provides user an illusion of having a very big main memory. This is done by treating a part of secondary memory as the main memory. In this scheme, user can load the bigger size process than the available main memory by having the illusion that the memory is available to load the process, instead of loading one big process in the main memory. The operating system loads the different parts of more than one process in the main memory. By doing this, the degree of multiprogramming will be increased, and therefore the CPU utilization will also be increased. That's all. Thank you.